At some point in your life, you had a thought that made complete sense to you. Maybe it was about how you wanted to live, what you actually believed, what the people around you were doing that seemed, if you were being honest, completely insane. And you said it out loud, and the room went cold. Not because you were wrong, but because you were different. Because you broke the unspoken agreement everyone had silently signed. We don't question things here. We stay inside the lines. You didn't stay inside the lines, and you paid for it. Nietzsche spent his entire life explaining why that happens. Why the people who see furthest get punished hardest. Why original thought is treated not as a gift, but as a threat. Today we find out exactly why. Nietzsche had a word for the majority of society, the herd, not an insult, a diagnosis. Most people don't think for themselves, not because they're incapable, but because thinking for yourself is genuinely dangerous. And somewhere deep in the human nervous system, we all know it. The herd operates on consensus, on shared values, on the comfort of knowing that what you believe is what everyone around you believes. There is enormous psychological safety in that. The moment someone steps outside that consensus, the herd does what herds have always done. It turns, not out of cruelty, out of self-preservation. Because the person who thinks differently is not just different, they are a living challenge to everyone who didn't. Their existence asks a question the herd desperately doesn't want asked. What if we're wrong? It rarely comes as a direct attack. It's subtler, more insidious. First comes confusion. Why would you think that? That's strange. You are made to feel your perspective is a malfunction rather than a perception. Then comes pressure. Just go along with it. Why do you have to make everything complicated? Then exclusion. You are quietly moved to the edges, not invited, not included. The group doesn't formally reject you. It simply stops making room for you. And finally, for those who still refuse to shrink, comes ridicule, reputation damage, the narrative that frames your independence not as courage but as arrogance, not as clarity but as madness. Nietzsche watched this happen to thinkers and artists throughout history. He watched it happen to himself, laughed at, dismissed, called unstable. He died largely unrecognized. The world caught up to him after he was gone. Here's what Nietzsche understood that most people miss. The herd doesn't punish original thinkers because it hates them. It punishes them because it needs them to fail. If the person who thought differently succeeds, if their ideas turn out to be right, their way of living better, their refusal to conform wisdom rather than madness, it raises an unbearable question for everyone who stayed in line. Was my conformity a choice or a fear? Most people cannot answer that honestly. So instead of examining the question, they eliminate the person asking it. Nietzsche called this slave morality, a system built not on genuine virtue, but on resentment. The conformist cannot rise to the level of the free thinker. So they pull the free thinker down instead. And they dress that pulling down in the language of humility, of not thinking you're better than everyone else. One of the most elegant psychological tricks in human history. And it works almost every time. You don't need to be Nietzsche to experience this. You just need to have said something true in the wrong room. At work, the person who identifies a problem nobody wants to acknowledge gets labeled a troublemaker. Not because they're wrong, because they're inconvenient. Online, nuance gets ignored, and outrage gets amplified. Original thought isn't just unrewarded, it's actively punished by the architecture of the platforms themselves. In families, the person who breaks generational patterns gets called selfish, difficult, too much. The mechanism is always the same. The costume changes, the punishment doesn't. Nietzsche had no patience for victimhood. He wanted you looking forward, not backward. He said, the individual has always had to struggle to keep from being overwhelmed by the tribe. If you try it, you will be lonely often and sometimes frightened. But no price is too high to pay for the privilege of owning yourself. Society will punish you for thinking differently. Through exclusion, ridicule, and the slow pressure to be smaller, quieter, more digestible, you have two choices: comply, file down the edges of your thinking until it fits the space the world made for you, or keep thinking. Nietzsche was punished his entire life for thinking differently. He also changed the way the world thinks. The herd is loud. But it doesn't last.